Welcome to our third episode, bringing you education news from the Peoria Unified School District. We have a great show planned for you today, including a display of ceramics from Cactus High School, an interview with Chief Minter from the City of Peoria Police, as well as Steve Savoy, our K-12 administrator, talking about things that are keeping you and your students safe. Stay tuned. Joined by Deputy Superintendent for the Peoria School District, Dr. Heather Cruz. Dr. Cruz, thank you for being here with me this morning.
It's my pleasure, Mrs. Airey.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the Race to the Top grant. The Peoria Unified School District announced recently that they'd be participating in the Race to the Top grant. What can you share with us about what this means?
Well, this means, to be blunt, it means almost $40 million for our district.
That's
to
incredible.
Really further our initiatives that we've been working on for many, many years. And the premise of the Race to the Top District grant is surrounding personalized learning, which has been a cornerstone of the Peoria Unified District for many, many years, through our signature programs, through our multiple pathways and career pathways at the high school. So we think this will be a nice way to build on that as we transition to Common Core standards.
Well, and really, many people may have heard of Race to the Top. It's been around for quite some time. Has quite a bit of history, really. What can you tell us about the history of the Race to the Top? Where did it all begin, and how did this opportunity come to be for the Peoria School District?
Well, it really started in 2009, and it came out of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. So a lot of people remember that as ARA. And districts received different funding sources through the ARA monies. And Race to the Top started as a state competition. Arizona applied in rounds 1 and 2 and was funded in round 3, so they were just funded in January of 2012. And so the next piece to that would be the district grant competition. And it is a competitive grant competition, so all that apply do not receive the funds. We know that several hundred districts have applied from across the United States, and they will be funding those districts based on size. So we are competing against other districts of our size across the United States.
So it truly is a race,
race
to the top.
And
certainly we hope the Peoria School District is successful in that. You touched a little bit on personalized learning, and that really being a cornerstone for the grant and for the process. So as the district was developing this grant, what went into the development process? Was it a collaborative process? And really, how did you structure going through that process to complete the grant?
Well, that's a really good question. It was a definite collaboration from the beginning, starting with our teachers. We, as part of the grant, we had to show support of at least 70% of our teachers in order to even move forward with the grant. And through a survey process, over 96% of our teachers said absolutely enter the race. Peoria, go for the gold. So we did, and then we also did lots of different communication out to our teachers and extended some time for them to come and work with us in a collaborative way. So we had a whole group that came together and worked with a collaborative visioning process around this grant of teachers and administrators and district administrators that worked on this and helped us put the grant together. And so we are at this point doing final edits. We've had people across the whole district working on this in different pieces. I know I'll do a shout out to our research and development department. They have done hours and hours on data for us, as well as lots of different editing. I know you've done some editing for us. That's been very, very helpful. So we hope to submit it in about a week.
Well, it certainly has been an exciting process, and the community involved in this process as well. I've heard that many members of the community, including the City of Peoria, has shown their support for this process. We're very thankful. I know to the mayors of the cities where our students serve, so we're very thankful for them. Tell us lastly a little bit about the timeline. You mentioned it's due next week, and then when will we find out if we're successful?
Well, it is due to the Department of Education in Washington, D.C. on October 30th, no later than 4:30 p.m. Then we will just wait to hear. We expect to hear around December 31st if we were successful, and if we are, we have 100 days to put together our beginning plan and submit that to the Department of Ed to begin our work.
Well, we will be pulling for the Peoria School District in this Race to the Top grant. Dr. Cruz, thank you for being here with me, and thanks for sharing more about Race to the Top.
It's my pleasure.
In the Peoria Unified School District, we know that school safety is of utmost importance to you and your family. Recently, I had an opportunity to sit down with the City of Peoria Police Chief, as well as Steve Savoy, our K-12 administrator who oversees safety. Let's take a look.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with me today. We're going to talk a little bit about safety. I know it's something that's of utmost importance to this community as well as the Peoria School District. And I'm going to start with you, Steve. I'm hoping you can share a little bit with me about what is the school district's approach to school safety?
Well, it's always preventative in nature. First, we spend an awful lot of time working with our school level administrators and stressing with them the importance of having a safe, secure campus for all of our children that go to school each and every day. So that's really our first conversation, is make sure your campus is safe. There's nothing there dangerous that could hurt a student walking to or from school. And then we establish procedures at school to maintain that safety throughout the day. Things such as fire drills, lockdown practice during the school year. And then there's other things that we do as a district as well.
I know part of what we do as a district really is partnering with law enforcement, partnering with the City of Peoria. Chief Minter, we have what I would say is really a model partnership, the way the school district works with the city and works with your team of police officers. Can you talk to me a little bit about the School Resource Officer Program? That's a really big part of how we partner.
Sure, and thanks for the invitation to appear on the program today, Danielle. The School Resource Officer is one of our most important programs. One of the commitments that I gave to the school district and the city when I first arrived was trying to expand the School Resource Officer Program. We're now in the process of doing that, and we're in the process of working with the school district to put a 4th SRO in one of the schools, and that will mean we will have a School Resource Officer in each one of PUSD's high schools here in Peoria. We're very proud of that. We're one of the few agencies in this area who's been able to do that. But the School Resource Officer Program is a very important program. Some people think that the School Resource Officers only serve as security for the schools. It's just a small part of what they do. They help counsel the parents and the students and the school staff. They also serve as role models for the students when they're there. They also assist with emergency planning there at the schools. And then, of course, there's that other component, the safety component, when they're there in the schools.
Well, and I know many of them really are a part of the team at the school. They've become almost like another staff member at each of our campuses, and so I know that that partnership has been so well received by the entire community, students and staff on each of those campuses. I'll ask both of you, are there statistics that show an improvement, a change at a campus or in a community from a safety perspective in having that school resource officer presence on the campus? Mr. Savoy?
Well, certainly there is. We have data that certainly supports that. I'd like to just jump a little bit further along with the chief's thinking there. You know, one of the great things about having a school resource officer is really just that presence. There's a police car that's parked in front of the school each and every day, and I think that sends an important message to our community that it's a safe, secure place. There's a police officer there. The one thing that we really recognize, and our principals talk a lot about at the high school, is that piece about relationship. They build phenomenal relationships with the young people at the school to the point where over the course of the year, the students really get to a place where they feel very, very comfortable. You know, because sometimes people always think, oh, it's the police officer. And yet what we find is that the students are very comfortable approaching the school resource officer, and they reach out to them if they have a problem or they have a question about something. A lot of our students are beginning to drive in high school. It's the first time they receive their driver's license. And a lot of times they'll have questions for the officer just about, driving and rules of the road and safety and those kind of things. And so I think there's a lot of ways that it permeates through that school culture and that climate where the relationship is really the foundation. And as far as what we've seen is that when we really look at specific data targeting certain areas of discipline that a school encounters on a daily basis, the schools with the resource officers, we have seen a gradual decline over the last 3 years. And that's been very, very positive. But I think it goes back to the idea of relationship because students reach out to the officer on campus.
Well, and Chief Minter alluded to this a little bit at the beginning, but we have the school resource officers on most of our campuses, not yet just that last one, and sounds like that is coming soon, which we're so thrilled about. You must have then seen a difference on those other campuses, and really, what is that difference that you've seen that is reinforcing your commitment to add that additional officer at Liberty High School?
Well, a couple things. Number one, it assists us with calls for service. If we don't, in those situations where we did not have an officer assigned to the campus, when those calls for service come out, whether it's a theft or whether it's some type of disturbance, we're taking an officer from patrol and having them respond to that school. Now we'll have an officer who not only is able to respond immediately to those types of incidents, but they're also more familiar with what's going on at that particular campus, and that's really important. The other thing we have a tendency to see is lower incidents of crime-related matters that occur in schools where we have school resource officers, specifically things like fighting and bullying. The other thing we look at specifically is the safety and security of the schools. Of course, the students feel a lot safer knowing that there's an officer there during the entire time that they're there at school. They get to know the officer, they get to build a relationship with the officer. The parents also really appreciate that. That's really a big plus, and it's a plus for us from the building relationship and partnership standpoint, but it's also a really big plus for us with building a relationship and partnership with the school district.
Well, you touched on it exactly. Parents and the community seeing the benefits of having that officer presence on each of those campuses. You also mentioned bullying, kind of a hot topic that we will see a lot of in the media when we're reading things, seeing things on TV about instances of bullying really going on across the United States and in our community. Steve, technology is continuing to evolve, and we're seeing a lot of this with cyber bullying in particular. Are there things that the district has done specifically to address bullying and maybe to kind of reinforce anti-bullying on school campuses?
Well, we're doing a lot this year. One of the things that we're currently engaged in is our district-wide video and poster art contests. We're encouraging students in grades K through 2, and then a separate group in grades 3, 5, 6, 8, and then a high school division of 9, 12. And we're asking students, you know, if they have a creative idea or creative thought to create an art piece that would represent the theme of let's stomp out bullying, let's stop that at our schools. And so there's a lot of energy revolving around that. We have a lot of questions about it. It's coming up. We're going to do a contest. We're going to judge those posters and the videos on October 29th. So that's a real strong message, I think, that's coming from our students.
And I understand that theme isn't big to make others feel small. And so that's something I had an opportunity to go into a number of our classrooms and see some kids as they were starting to work on these projects. So that really is a remarkable thing. I want to make sure I touch on more than just that SRO program, more than just bullying as a focus on our campuses. And I want to hear a little bit more about some of the other ways that the district has been able to partner with the city. And Chief Minter, I know something you've been involved with are some of these roundtable exercises that we've been able to have on some of our school campuses. Can you talk to me a little bit about what goes on those drills and exercises, tabletops that you do with our schools? Yeah,
absolutely. And those are really important. One of the things that we realized years ago when we started seeing crisis incidents that were occurring in schools is law enforcement had a plan, the school district had a plan, but we didn't know what the plan for each other was. Well, everybody knew, law enforcement officers knew what their duties and responsibilities was when they showed up at an incident at a school, but we didn't necessarily know what to expect from the school itself in terms of their crisis response plan. What we've done with the tabletop exercises is we bring everybody in the room together, we give them an exercise, and we work through it as a team. So heaven forbid, in the event that we have something that occurs at a school, law enforcement now has a better understanding of what the school's response will be, and the school also has a better understanding of what law enforcement response will be to that type of incident. So it's worked really well. It's a model that several other school districts here in this area are now looking at. We've gotten a couple of phone calls and a couple of inquiries from school districts around this area asking for copies of our tabletop exercises and asking if they can come out and actually view some of our tabletop exercises.
Well, those have been really a wonderful addition to the partnership that we have ongoing with the City of Peoria, with the police department. Steve, I will conclude with you. If parents, if community members are out there watching, they want to learn more about safety issues on our campuses, about really what feedback they might be able to provide to ensure our campuses are staying safe. There's an event coming up. You led a section of this event centered around safety last year.
Correct.
Can you talk a little bit about this event and how parents may be able to get involved?
Sure. That's going to be on October 24th. It's a Wednesday evening. It'll be at Centennial High School. Any of our parents who are interested in participating in a community forum, it's not just about safety, there's other topics as well about budget and curriculum, but we found that the last time we did this, there was a lot of interest where parents wanted to engage and talk about safety and the safety of their children at school. So that will be one of the topic sessions that will take place, and if parents are interested, they should contact our district office and ask for public relations, and they can sign in. I think they probably also could go to our district website and express that interest as well. And I would just like to let all of our parents know that we take safety very, very seriously. We're very grateful for the partnership with Chief Minter and his department because they've been wonderful in their support. And as a district, I would encourage parents, if you ever have any questions, talk to your local school principal. Let them know if you feel a concern or something appears to be unsafe. Our principals will respond. And in addition to that, we have a safe school line that parents can call 24/7, any day of the week, to report anonymously, but we like them to leave the name of the school so that we can follow up, but they don't have to leave their name if they have a safety concern involving their child. And so those are a couple things that we do as a district to reach out. But if they want to sit down and talk with us, we'd love to see them on Wednesday at Centennial High School. We would love to have the whole community out there for that event. Chief Minter, thank you so much for being here with me today. Mr. Savoy, some wonderful information. You hit on it on all points. Safety is of utmost importance to the district, and I know to the City of Peoria as well. We want to thank you for keeping our communities and our schools safe.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you, Danielle.
Well, fall is upon us, and it's certainly one of the busiest times of the year in the Peoria Unified School District. It's important that you have the information to stay connected with all that's going on in our very busy calendar of events. Visit our website at peoriaud.k12.az.us. We also encourage you to check us out on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and most recently, we are pinning like crazy on Pinterest.
If you've ever wondered what it's like to be a school resource officer on one of our high school campuses, we took a day, followed them around, and our cameras caught all the action.
I've been an officer about 8 years, and I've been here at Centennial. This is the beginning of my second year. This is a larger high school than most, certainly the largest in this district. You get up at about 4, I go run with a couple of ex-patrol guys, and we run around the neighborhood. I get here at about 6:30, usually take a walk around, see if there's anything overnight, anything that's happened. I'll check in and talk to some of the security people, the ones who watch the gates and things, to see if anything is up. I'll usually try to be out in traffic, whether it's in the back parking lot with the staff parking or out front. Once the bell has rung, start making the rounds. I start looking around, walking through all the halls and see if anything needs your attention. There are 3 or 4 people that a lot of things run through at the school. Anything going today, any issues, the counselors do a great job. They have a real feel for if there's an issue, if there's anything kind of brewing, they'll let me know. Morning. For the school resource officer, there's 3 parts. Security, for the school, for the staff members, for the students, obviously. There's a informal teaching role, sort of as a guest speaker teacher, and then also the third part, a mentor, guidance counselor type of thing. Oftentimes I have students come in and or parents, sometimes staff members, They'll have a question about all sorts of different things. You know, as a police officer, you want to be vigilant. You want to keep your eyes open. You want to be aware. Again, no surprises. So that part doesn't change so much. Who you're working with, you know, with kids, maybe a little more patience than than you might have out on the outside. The vast majority of kids here are great. They're working hard. They're just working their way through, figuring out who they are, getting to their next step, and they've been really, really good to work with. You know, there are almost 2,200 kids here. There are about 2,200 personalities. Some people want to be artists, some people want to be athletes, some people want to be machinists or mechanics, or you name it. Everything in the world you could think of. I have a lot of respect for teachers, and since I've been here working with them day to day, it's just grown immeasurably. These people are unbelievable. The school is not about me. The school is about the students and the teachers and the staff, and getting everybody to the next level. And so if I can help do that, great. Yeah, I feel like my role is to support the staff in any way they need, whether that be speaking to, you know, students, large groups, maybe teaching some law enforcement, doing some law enforcement education, but also taking care of the security side for the school, for the staff members and the students. It is very rewarding.
With so much going on around the Peoria School District, we want you to have an opportunity to come out and take a look firsthand. Consider this your invitation to come out on our fall patron tour. On Friday, November 2nd, we'll be opening our doors at Centennial High School and Desert Harbor Elementary School, and you have a personal invitation to join us. Let's take a look at what goes on inside one of our patron tours.
We're back.
All right.
All right.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi. You waited for us. That was good.
This is really what public education is about, and you can see the fruits of all of our labor.
It's a great opportunity for our parents and community members to get a closer, more detailed look at how a school district operates. We had a chance today to go in and visit different classrooms. We could see children in the classroom learning, interacting with their teachers, and what it does is it allows people in our community to really gain a greater understanding of what happens in the classroom at the front of the class.
In the media, we often hear the negative stories about education and how the United States were behind all the other countries. But really what I saw today is kids that are really engaged. I saw teachers that are so committed to their classrooms, making sure that their students are lifelong learners.
We're proud of Peoria, we're proud of what happens in this district, but it doesn't happen without the support of our community, the support of our cities, the partnerships that we have with businesses and industry, and of course our parents and as key partners.
There is such excitement going on in those classrooms. Those children are learning. What a wonderful experience. I'm so impressed with the teachers we have in our district and the people that are leading them.
I was just really surprised to see the diversity of classes being offered both at the high school and the elementary school. So for example, in the high school, students can take calculus all the way to culinary arts. They can learn about design. We were in a classroom where the children were designing for a newspaper. And I just was really impressed how many programs there are, and it really helps the children learn, different formats. So some kids are hands-on learners, and there's plenty of opportunities for those types of learners. So I just thought it was great.
hope more people have the opportunity to see what's going on in our school system. I have a whole new relationship with the schools in my neighborhood now, and it's positive.
I'm joined by Suzanne Roy. She is an arts teacher at Cactus High School. Thank you for being here with me today, Suzanne.
Thank you for having me.
And we also have Haley, who is a senior at Cactus High School, and she is busy working away. We are so thrilled to have this wonderful display of art on this beautiful day out here in Peoria. And Suzanne, I want to talk to you a little bit about what you do as an arts teacher at Cactus High School. Can you tell me really, why is it important for students to be exposed to the kinds of things that Haley's here working on today?
Well, I think the arts are important not just for our students, but for our community as a whole. It gives us a chance to connect to our history and to tell our stories. And for a lot of kids, the arts are a way for them to discover and understand their place in the world. And for kids who learn visually and kinesthetically, it's a place where they thrive.
Absolutely. Now tell us, what is Haley working on here today?
Haley's working on throwing bowls for the Empty Bowl project that we do every year. It's a charity event that we put on every year, and we raise money for local charities to feed the hungry.
What a wonderful event, and I understand that these bowls will be for sale, and that's how the proceeds will come in for those charities.
All of our schools participate, and we do a variety of activities. Some of us have coordinated events with our culinary department. We have luncheons, and we take donations, and people are provided with bowls and a lunch, and it's symbolic of the empty bowls and people dealing with hunger across. It's an international event, actually, and we do it locally here and throughout the United States.
Well, it's wonderful, and I know the Peoria School District, Cactus High School in particular, has participated for many, many years, raised thousands of dollars for charity. Now, Haley, I don't want to interrupt you too much there because I want you to keep working on what you're doing, but can you tell me what's your favorite thing to make? It looks like you're quite good at what it is you're doing.
I liked making the sectionals that we did, which is just when you throw them differently in different pieces and then you connect them.
Now, how long will it take you to create this piece you're working on today?
Well, I'll finish this today, but you have to let it dry, and then you can trim a foot, and then you can fire it and glaze it.
Haley is working on these beautiful pieces for us. She is making it look so easy, and I understand the finished product is going to look something like this, Ms. Roy, is that right?
That's right. These pieces have all been thrown on the wheel, which is what Haley's doing right now, and they've been fired and then glazed and fired once again. And the finished product will be used to raise money to help fight hunger through our Empty Bowl charity event that we do every year.
And you fill these bowls, is that right? So sometimes you fill them and then people get it.
That's right. A lot of people will actually do cafes or luncheons, and they'll fill these bowls with simple meals like soup or pasta. And the empty bowl itself is meant to represent the empty bowls around the world, people who are dealing with hunger. And all the donations go to local charities that feed the hungry.
Well, it's an incredible program that the Peoria School District participates in. Cactus High School, I understand you throw hundreds of bowls every year that are then for sale through this program, so we appreciate the work that you're doing, and we thank you for being here. Haley, thank you for being here with us today as well, and we can't wait to see what that looks like once it's all complete. For this latest edition of Education News from the Peoria Unified School District. As a reminder, you can always find the latest information on our website, peoriaud.k12.az.us, and be sure to check us out on social media. Until next time, thanks for joining us.